Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I've been asked to react to this video in particular. It is from DreamcastGuy, Xbox in panic mode, Call of Duty coming to Game Pass to boost subs. Now, only he could think that this is a negative, this is bad. Only he, in my opinion, could actually spin this. Well, I guess there's Unleashed and Droid as well, but only these guys can actually spin this in a negative way. It's crazy. We said it all along. Now, it's okay to have the discussion of whether you think it's going to come or not. It's okay to have the discussion on whether you think there's going to be a price increase or not. Having discussions is good. It gets the word around, it gets a feeler around. It also sets an expectation on what you feel, on how you react to certain news. But for those that are looking on, it actually gives them a sense of direction of how the community is taking what's being said. Obviously, the negative ponies are going to always find a problem with this, and that is always going to be the case. It's just one of those things. They just can't stand something that they don't have. And I guarantee you, if they had a Game Pass system for PlayStation, a Game Pass equivalents for PlayStation, they would absolutely lap it up. But the fact that they don't, it shows because they're not even willing to pay for premium because that is literally the least subscribed model because it doesn't give day and date. The free demos that they get that is locked behind a premium paywall is absolutely disgusting, but that is the treatment that they have been given. So I've been asked to react to this, and we're going to check it out and see what he has to say, and hopefully you'll enjoy my react. But quite honestly, the way the community has reacted to this has been astonishing. And though, I said in my stream and in my videos, there is literally no reason why this can't happen. Xbox Game Pass is sustainable. Even with Call of Duty going on there, the revenue streams coming from all directions make it so there's literally no reason why this can't happen. Even if they are footing the bill for the development, the amount of microtransactions coming from 3 different avenues, 4 if you include the Switch, if it ever does go on there, and of course the box prices or the digital prices for those that are going to purchase on PlayStation, PC, and of course there are going to be people that do purchase it on Xbox, is crazy. So at the end of the day, how is this a bad thing? All this is going to do is make their coffers richer, push Game Pass more, and convert people over to Xbox with their Game Pass. Or even if it's not Xbox, it will convert them over to Game Pass. But let's listen to what he has to say because this should be quite amusing.
DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about Xbox because a big new report was just released that Game Pass is making a final big gamble. They're going to put Call of Duty into Game Pass this year, and it seems like this is probably going to raise the price of the service. We're going to get a big price increase for Game Pass, but
now I'm calling this now. There's going to be no price increase. Not this year.
additionally, I think this is the final experiment. This is their test to see if they can actually make Game Pass profitable.
Game Pass is already profitable. Go check out my video that I've already done on this. I have proven with actual numbers, based on the information that we know, that Game Pass is sustainable, profitable, and it's making bank. Now, they spend about what TLDR, if you don't want to see the maths, is they spend about 1.5 billion on cost with servers and everything, and they actually make around 6 billion in return. So I'm not saying you're dumb at maths, but 6.5, or even let's go to 4. Let's be absolutely reserved. But 4 minus 1.5 is still leaving me with 2.5 in net profit. Is that sustainable? Would you say $2.5 billion is sustainable? I don't know. You let me know in the comment section below. But let's continue. But I will say this. I don't see a price increase, but I do see new tiers coming, like an ad tier, where before you, as you boot the game up, there'll be an ad that plays, and then when you shut the game down, if you shut it down properly, you'll get another ad. If you don't, and you just shut your console off, obviously it doesn't really matter. But yeah, and there's talks of an ABK tier as well. Now, this is something that me and Paris talked about on my live stream, and I think that's possible, but I don't think we're going to see that in the current situation right now.
before they just give up on gaming altogether. But let's talk about that, and let's.
Can you see how that is his wet dream? This is literally his wet dream for Microsoft to give up on gaming altogether, so they can go, all those games can go over to his plastic PlayStation 5, and so he can start playing greatness. Because that is what he wants. He wants those great games. Because clearly, the games that he's getting isn't enough to sustain him.
Let's take a look at the report. Hi, I hope you're having a great day. If you could, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, so here we go. Wall Street Journal has just published a report talking about the fact that Microsoft is going to release the next Call of Duty, which is rumored to be Black Ops 6, on Game Pass, and they're going to announce it at the Xbox Showcase coming up in June. But
now, Sarah Bond said it's going to Xbox Game Pass. I mean, she said the whole slate during the interview with Bloomberg. Phil has said this. Matt Booty has said this. We've all said this. Like, anyone that's connected to Microsoft Corporation has said this. The fans have said this because, you know, we just don't see any other way around it. They've given their word. Not putting it on there would do more damage to Game Pass than not, so it doesn't make sense for them not to. None of that made any difference to these people, right? Not Sarah, not Matt, not Phil, no one. None of them made any difference, right? Not even the interview with Bloomberg. None of that made. This is breaking news that because a Wall Street Journal just revealed. Like, really? Really, folks? Really? Are we going to this depths of stupidness now?
if you actually consider this, this is a very tough sell. This is a move that I think is going to either work very well or more likely it's going to totally explode in Microsoft's face.
As soon as this announcement came out, Amazon received thousands and thousands of Xboxes being sold. In fact, upon the release of this news, over 80,000 consoles for Xbox Series X were sold. We didn't check the Series S numbers, but the Series X numbers for Amazon, it said 80,000 plus in the last hour. I'm assuming the number of Game Pass subs also increased with that, because if you're buying an Xbox, you're buying Game Pass. So I know 80,000 is small, but I don't know how much Amazon actually goes up before it stops registering how much they're selling. Now, considering Microsoft also has the marketing rights, I get he is desperately praying for Microsoft to fail, but everything is insinuating that this is going to be the biggest push that Microsoft is doing right now, and it's going to work. Call of Duty is just one of those games that will make it work. And considering Sony no longer have the marketing rights, Microsoft can literally put the Series S out there for £250 with Call of Duty bundled in as the cheapest way to enter next-gen gaming with Call of Duty 60 FPS. Go. There is nothing out there that he can do to stop this, and nothing he can say that can undermine this. This is a really, really big deal, and it's going to work.
Microsoft plans a major shakeup of its video game sales strategy by releasing the coming installment of Call of Duty to its subscription service instead of the long-time lucrative approach of selling a game a la carte. Now, for the most part, I think we could all acknowledge that Call of Duty is making billions and billions of dollars. The entire reason for the Activision Blizzard deal in the first place was clearly the fact that Xbox wanted Call of Duty.
This guy is pure retarded. I'm sorry, I'm just going to use that. He is so delusionally retarded that if he doesn't know that the whole purpose of Microsoft buying ABK was for King, and if Activision actually sold King as a separate company, Microsoft would have went with that and left Activision Blizzard on its own, but they wouldn't. It was a complete package. How can you say this straight out lying? Because I know he's lying, because he knows that Microsoft went for ABK for King. He knows this, but here he is again, flat-faced, lying, literally lying. Like, what the fudge? How can you sit there and lie red-faced to everyone? I mean, I get you're a pony and you like bootlicking that shoe so hard, but to get to the depths of actually lying to your audience, that's messed up, DCG, man. That is messed up. The fact that now you are actively lying to your community because you have said before that this is all about mobile, and now you're turning around and saying that this is all about Call of Duty, you are a liar, my dude. A liar.
They wanted access to the biggest gaming franchise on the planet. I mean, not to be a Call of Duty hater, I mean, some of the games are good, but they're definitely extremely casual.
2 years ago, Call of Duty is the best. Call of Duty is the best. Let's go, people. Microsoft buys it. Nah, it's just for casual people, man. This game is trash, man. This game is trash. This game is trash, man. Trash!
There are people that go and buy Call of Duty every single year. They just go and spend their cash on it back to back to back. And that upfront sales, that just generates so much income, followed by microtransactions and skins and season passes and map
Which is where all the money is, by the way.
The fact that they're trying to test removing that upfront pay, the fact
they're not removing the upfront pay. They're removing the upfront pay from Xbox players. You, my dude, still have to pay $70. But if you go to Game Pass, that means you're a hypocrite, right? If you actually go to Game Pass to play Call of Duty now, you are a hypocrite. Because PlayStation guys buy their games, right? They actually pay their hard-earned cash and they buy their games. So if I see any one of them going over and saying, I use Game Pass to buy this, well, thank you for the subscription. They still got done.
That they're going to take something they just spent $70 billion on and put it out there essentially for free, I think this is... It is a move that I think they are going to instantly regret. Now,
they weren't going to regret this at all. You'll see.
A lot of people are just sort of laughing at this because it is bizarre that this is an announcement that seems almost a bit too late. Like, here's Paul Tassi, writer for Forbes, saying this. It was inevitable they do this. The question is whether it would happen this year or the next. They're way too down the rabbit hole, committed to Game Pass at this point to start making exceptions for first-party games, and this is one of the only remaining places that can drive new subs.
Exactly, and that is what me and Paris were talking about the other day on stream at the end of the day, and this is what Paris said in his video as well. If you're going to start picking and choosing, just get rid of Game Pass. There's no point at this point, because that's going to create a whole kettle of problems. You're either all in or out. And Microsoft has said they're all in. Just like Sarah Bond did during the Bloomberg interview. So, Paul Tassi here is correct. It was inevitable. It was going to happen.
People are, of course, all the replies are like, okay, Game Pass is about to be $25 a month.
And still be the best deal in gaming.
This is going to be a two-pronged dumpster fire because they're definitely going to increase the price of Game Pass. I don't think this is deniable at all. But additionally,
I still don't
think
see it.
That internally, companies have sales metrics.
Why would you increase the price now? Like, think of it from a business perspective. If Microsoft do, they do, right? But from where I'm sitting right now, what you want to do is get those people onto Game Pass, right? They're at 34 million now. Make that 50 million or 55 million and then bolster the price by $2 or $3, whatever it is. That's an instant 50 million times 3, 150 million extra a month. But you do it now, you can potentially push people away. Which one sounds more business orientated to you? What he's saying, which is filled with pure jealousy, hate mongering, fear mongering, and just complete just salt because Sony doesn't treat their fan base the same, or with the way Xbox, the business way to do it, in soaking up those members first, and then giving them a whammy. Hey, it's going to be $3 extra from this point forward. To me, the latter makes way more sense.
go, okay, we spent $300 million on advertising, we spent $200 million on development, so it needs to sell at least 10 million copies to break even. So this thing is going to bomb.
Okay, this dude thinks that Microsoft is going to advertise. I don't mean this is a disrespect, but I don't think Microsoft actually knows what the word advertising means. And with Call of Duty, I don't think it needs to advertise at all. All they need to do is put a release date out there, and everyone that is interested in the game will know. That's it.
I'm going to call it right now. You can clip it. I'm filming this at 10 a.m. on May 17th. This is about to be the lowest selling Call of Duty of all time. Now it's going to bump up some Game Pass numbers, which is kind of the point in a way. Game Pass is in a weird spot because
Xbox has 8% of the market share when it comes to Call of Duty games. PlayStation has 15, PC has 25, mobile has 51%. So assuming mobile, we don't count mobile, PC's still going to buy it because PC gamers don't use Game Pass. You know, we all know that. They use Steam and they don't use anything else. So based on that logic, we can assume all 25% are still going to buy it. PlayStation users, they don't use Game Pass, right? Because it's welfare pass, it's for peasants, it's for people who are broke, don't have a job. So that 15% isn't going to take it. Now, from the 8% that's over at Microsoft, I would say roughly about give or take 2.5% or 2 to 2.5% will buy the game, and the other 5.5%, 5.5%, yeah, 5.5% is going to play through Game Pass, right? And you may actually see a bigger increase now of people diving into Call of Duty, and actually those people that weren't ever going to buy Call of Duty, like moi, I haven't bought one in ages. You'll see that I'm going to play it, right, for the story mode, and then I'm going to jump into the PvP mode, and guess what? From not buying the game, you'll see that I'm actually going to spend some money in the microtransaction store. So basically, I'm paying for my sub at £13 a month, and then I'm going to pay for some microtransactions that they never would have had anyway. So where are they losing here?
I do think that people are beginning to miss the olden days. People are beginning to miss the Xbox 360 era or early PlayStation 4, where there was back-to-back good releases, but also there was always something to play. There was always something you could pick up for $50 or $60 or indie games for $20. And now, not only is everything $70, but a lot of stuff breaks broken, unfinished, with season passes.
And let's not forget Ubisoft with their $130 standard now, or 115 in the UK. That's now their standard pricing to get the full experience.
Filled with DLC on day one, and people are starting to go, okay, well, what is this going to do in the long run? Is Game Pass good for gaming or bad for gaming? Now, here's a good point.
History will be the judge.
Game Pass is just a standard two-tier system, and we don't know what tier of Game Pass this is going to be. As it currently exists, there's the core, which is pretty much just multiplayer, and then $17 a month for Game Pass.
If my dude just scrolled down just a little bit, he would see that this is actually a free-tier system. There is core, there is console, and then there's ultimate. Core is your $60 Xbox Live Gold. That's not going to get it. Ultimate is going to get it at $17, and of course there is a Game Pass console, which doesn't have Xbox Live, it doesn't have the EA membership, and that one will only play the single player experience. You cannot play the multiplayer experience. If you want to play the multiplayer experience, you need Live, and for that you're going to have to upgrade to Game Pass Ultimate. So what this game is going to do is introduce you to Call of Duty, the single player campaign, and then when you've got that itch to go to the multiplayer and you're going to want to play it because your friends are playing it and your family's playing it or whatever's playing it, you're going to feel enticed to upgrade to Ultimate to dive in and then get wrecked.
Pass Ultimate, which is where you get access to typical Game Pass. So that's basically, this is how you get the hundreds and hundreds of games plus new games on day one. I think this price is definitely going to go up. In fact, I even said that. I said, okay, so remember this tweet. Game price is about to go way high. I think they're going to increase it at least $4 or $5. People are like, oh, they're going to increase the price of PlayStation Plus. Okay, I don't know why this person is throwing that out. That's also stupid. PlayStation Plus, obviously, nobody should compare PlayStation Plus to Xbox Game Pass.
Why? PlayStation Plus increased their prices, offering no value, no benefits, nothing extra for their consumers. Like, when PlayStation increased their prices for all three of their tiers, what benefit did the user gain? Absolutely none. Nothing. Nilch. Nada. Nothing. They just took it up the ass and accepted it and thanked Uncle Jim before he told them, peace, I'm out. My dude's got butt raped so hard and then said thank you, and that's why he's saying you shouldn't compare it?
Xbox Game Pass has a lot of good games. PlayStation Plus, whatever. I pay for premium, and I often regret it. But here's
what did I say? I'ma take it up the ass and then take it like a champ.
the thing. A lot of people are talking about this because as good as this will be in the short term, I think it's going to lead to a lot of bad things all at once. This is truly going to go down in the record books of Xbox as a catastrophe in the long run. Like, maybe I'm being hyperbolic or
you are being very hyperbolic.
I mean, Xbox has made frequent sloppy mistakes. The whole thing with the Xbox One, telling people not to buy the Xbox One, forcing the Kinect, and trying to make stuff like originally when the Xbox One was about to come out, it did not have used games. I guess people kind of forget that today. And ever since then, they've kind of been trying to keep up.
I mean, isn't that the whole purpose of what they're doing right now, going full digital? Steam's done it already, so there's no used games for PC anymore. Xbox is heading that way, and PlayStation wants to go that way. They're just a little more reserved with it. But isn't that where we're going anyway? There's going to be no used games anymore because consoles just won't release games with physicals, and they're becoming less and less diminished. I mean, it's almost like this guy's got brain rot at this point because he doesn't know what he's talking about and is trying to find justifications for Xbox bad, Call of Duty bad, Activision bad, everything Microsoft bad, and to just kind of almost console himself. This is starting to become sad and pathetic, honestly.
Microsoft is now so far behind on console sales. I did a video yesterday that they're actually down 5-1 for.
That's for the quarter, but also, as we have now seen, that's shipped, and shipped does not mean sold. We've seen this in multiple reports. They have shipped X amount of consoles. The PSVR 2 and the PS Portal, according to reports that I've been reading online, also count as consoles. So what is the actual number sold? Because that's getting kind of muddled up in all of this, right? Also, secondly, with the PlayStation 5 Slim, people got rid of their PS5s to buy the PS5 Slim. That still counts as a console sale, even though that MAU isn't going up. And as we have seen now, Sony is getting very, very upset because their MAUs are not going up, and they are trying to get the PC crowd on board with their MAU so they can show their shareholders, hey, even though we're actually selling all these consoles, people do, there are new players coming in. We are generating new MAUs, and look at all the number of people playing that are potential microtransaction sheep, and, we're going to charge them and milk them for everything, but they can't do that right now because even though their sales numbers for consoles are going up, their actual player numbers are not. And who cares if your consoles are going up if the player numbers are not going up? And Sony, the exec at Sony are starting to realize this, the shareholders are starting to realize this, and this bridging the gap, or whatever it's called, the showcase that they're having, the business update on the 23rd, is going to be very revealing of this. And it's going to send a lot of ponies to the stables in hysteric fits.
For every one Xbox that sells, 5 PS5 sells, which is insane. And I think Game Pass, they are relying everything on this. If Microsoft can't figure out how to make Game Pass.
Also, just to be clear, I think there's like 25 million Xbox consoles out there, Series S and X consoles. They don't count the Xbox One consoles, right? If they did, it would probably be higher, but they don't. Even though those Xbox One consoles can theoretically play Series X games through the cloud. But let's push that aside. There's roughly about 25 million, right? And there's 60 million shipped, right? Can someone do the maths in chat and let me know how that equates to 1 in 5 in gap? Because unless I'm wrong, that's like 1 in 2 point maybe 2? 2.15? I don't know. Maybe my maths is wrong. But you guys can do the maths and let me know. Because if it's not 1.5, this dude has just taken another L and run with something that he doesn't even understand the mathematical significance of. They're referring to a quarter of the sales rather than the overall climate. But my dude, again, does not understand the significance of what is actually being purported and is just regurgitating information that he clearly doesn't understand.
Actually profitable, I think we're going to see the entire bubble pop. They're not going to keep spending hundreds of millions of dollars buying new games, buying new studios, paying to have good developers doing good work. I mean,
nope, they just stole your developers that decided to leave, the studios that you have and join the new studio everywhere, I think it's called, that Activision just opened up in Poland. So thanks, buddy.
If it's not lucrative, these companies exist to make a profit, and Game Pass is such a weird idea where, yes, on paper, hypothetically, it could work if you get 50 million subscribers, 100 million subscribers. Like, if enough people are paying you $10, $20 a month, it will pay off for those big projects. But if you're putting something like Call of Duty in, something that would give you instantly billions of dollars back, and just choosing not to accept that money, man, this is a very interesting game.
My dude sounds like everyone on PC, everyone on PlayStation, and everyone on Xbox is only going to play this through Game Pass. My dude, if that is the case, Microsoft is about to make 200 million subscribers, and Pratchett is about to become true. His prediction that Microsoft's going to hit 200 million subscribers is about to become true, because that's what he's saying there, right?
Gamble. I don't think it's going to work out, but everybody right now, this is Charlie Intel. This is like a Call of Duty news Twitter account. And they said, with Xbox including Call of Duty to Game Pass, what do you think Microsoft does? Here, let's refresh this and make sure we get the full access to this poll. So, look at this. It currently has 5,000 votes in just the last 10 minutes. And it says here, they're definitely going to increase the price of Game Pass, put it only on Game Pass Ultimate, increase store bundles, no changes. Yeah, I mean, of course, they're going to increase the price of Game Pass. Look at this. They're going to make it so the base level also has a higher cost, and they're going to gradual Game Pass increase over the next couple of years. Yeah, so...
And they can't actually, well, from what I remember and what I saw in an article yesterday, during the FTC trial, Microsoft promised the CMA that they won't be increasing the price of Game Pass over the next few years after the acquisition of ABK. So if they do, I think the CMA might be onto them.
This is one of the things I think is going to kill Game Pass the most, is I think they're going to jump it up to $20 a month here in the...
My dude is so wishing right now that this happens. You can see it in his face, like...
next 2 months. I think the price is going to go up, and I genuinely believe that before Call of Duty comes out, there's going to be a second price increase. I do think that Game Pass is going to go up to $25 a month here within the next year, which sucks.
Dude is so salty.
I think it's the only way that the weirdo executive people over at Microsoft can even fathom paying back a $70 billion acquisition. Now, the last tweet I wanted to look at is this one here from Jeff Grubb, because I do think this spells out the bleakness of the Xbox experiment. Putting Call of Duty on Game Pass and not launching it on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, if that doesn't move the needle on getting people to adopt the Xbox as their chosen next-gen device, then that's it.
What? So my dude is talking about putting it on Game Pass will hurt sales. And at the same time, my dude is saying, don't put it on a console that has like 40, 50 million consoles sold. Don't put it on a console that has 100, almost 120 million consoles sold, and that's not going to hurt. I mean, where is the logic in what he's saying? So he's saying doing this will benefit Microsoft, which it won't. But doing the other one won't benefit Microsoft, which it will. Can you see the pony logic here? Xbox bad, Xbox bad, bad, Xbox bad, Xbox bad, bad, ding. Ding.
This is the final hurrah of Xbox. I do think it's going to be bad for the industry when they inevitably implode and go the Sega path and go fully third party, but
I mean, he wants it so bad. Mate, it's like it's literally like his wet dream that he wants this so bad. Like he must sit there fantasizing about this night after night after night for this to happen. My dude is just sitting there going, "Oh, Xbox third party. Oh, that's lit. I mean, you can hear it in his voice."
It is just strange to see how the purchasing of Activision Blizzard is going into the history books as the worst move they've made. I think.
Okay, that one I can partly agree with because a lot of what's happening is because of that purchase. That one is one point he made in 10 minutes. That this purchase has caused unrest within Microsoft because $70 billion at the end of the day is a lot of money. And where Satya, Amy Hood, Tim Stewart was not involved, after $70 billion, there is a hell of a lot more scrutiny on Xbox, Phil Spencer, and the whole gaming division as a whole.
I think it's going to make the money in the short term. I think they'll recover their losses in the long term. But if you think that Xbox, as it currently exists, is going to continue, you're delusional. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. And
this, my dude, is literally his thoughts, guys. And as you can see, his whole ambition, his whole dream is for Xbox to just disappear. And honestly, I personally think that Game Pass Call of Duty going on to Game Pass is going to be the best thing for Game Pass. I think it's going to be the best thing for gamers, and it will increase subscription numbers. It's going to do the rounds. And I honestly don't see a price increase this gen, but I do see a price increase coming next year, but not this year. It doesn't make financial sense. Well, business sense to do it. You want to bring more people in. If they cared about that, they wouldn't be offering the $1, £1 service that they're offering right now. They would just abolish that entirely. The key here is to get people on board, give them a good service, let them see what good there is, and once they're happy and they're in they're in the actual ecosystem and they're playing the games and enjoying the service, then you do a small incremental increase. You don't increase it by a lot, a small incremental increase over time, over the years, and you do it that way. Pretty much the Netflix model. Netflix did that, and they're still, they're even more popular now richer now than they were before. Their subscription models has risen through the roof. Because despite all of that, no more sharing, price increases, and people canceling their subs, they've received a ton more subscription, even with the price increase. That's my thoughts on this. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion. I'm out. I'm going to be away for potentially a few days after this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.